Yo, peace. This is Shalom Zoe bringing you a brand new flavor episode called Know Thyself Part 2, dealing with the BlackaMoors. We do not own none of the copyrights, none of the music, image, or videos is being displayed today. This is just for knowledge purposes. Please pass it along. So I know y'all just checked out part 1 of Know Thyself, and that was just pretty much dealing with the Mongol, Mexican, Native American, Asian, Indian looking, you know what I'm saying, people. To show the difference between them and to show the difference between us. Now in this part 2, we're going to be breaking down pretty much the BlackaMoor. And I'm not saying that we was Moors over here in America. What I'm saying is that we was called Moorish, meaning that we had characteristics of Moors. All right, let's go on. I got a lot more. All right, so check this out. This right here is a large painted wood figure of a Blackamoor or Indian, right? Because they're not sure if it's an Indian or a Moor, because guess what, the Indians and the Moors looked exactly alike, hence the reason why they was calling us Moorish and not more so Moors. Because if we're Moorish, that means that we was pertaining to Moors, or we was looking like Moors, not more so being Moors. If I was to go and say somebody was childish, would I be calling you a child, or would I be saying that you're acting like a child? You get what I'm saying? We learned this in Hebrew 101, and that's why the Jews call themselves Jewish, because they're not Jews, they're Jewish. They're Ashkenazi Jews, you know what I'm saying? Like they come from a Japhetic stock and not a Shemitic stock. So that's what the ish come from. So you see a lot of this more ish stuff is because that the people in America was dark and looked like the Moors in Europe. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a pretty much word semantics. And I can show you where my etymology at. I lost my etymology, but you know what ish mean, man. Just go on Google and put what do ish mean. It's gonna say pertaining to something. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gotta show y'all that. What I do gotta show y'all though, so I do need my etymology. Oh my god. Well, what I do gotta show y'all is that how the word slave and like cigar pretty much is tying back to like us. Alright, so check this out. I'm gonna leave this on the screen, man. I'm not skipping none of this. Y'all can go back and read it. I'm just going straight to the point because you know time is money, and I'm doing this for free. You hear me? Alright, check this out. Cigar box. Cigar is from 1819 cigar store. Wooden cigar store. Indian from 1879. Yada yada yada. But wood images of feathered Indian or Negroes. Now check this out. This is the etymology of defining or definition of the word cigar. And cigar box, when you defined it, American English, but wood images of feathered Indians or Negroes are mentioned outside of tobacco. You gotta understand what we just read. They telling you that it's either a feathered Indian or a Negro. Now, if they say either a feathered Indian or a Negro, what is that telling you? That the Indians look like Negroes. I hate to talk to y'all like this, but some people, you gotta talk to them like that for them to understand. A cigar box. Hold on, let me highlight it. Cigar box from 1879 American English, but wooden images of feathered Indians or Negroes are mentioned. All right, now go down to these Blackamoors, right? Blackamoor or other dark-skinned foreigners have always posed considerable attractions as signs for tobacco, and sometimes also for public houses. Negroes with feathered headdresses and kilts. Smoking pipes are to be seen outside tobacco shops. Wow. How many of y'all know that? It's Negroes. I mean, and easily you can see that Negro and Indian can be interchangeable. You can see it. Indian or Negro. And if they was really like two separate different things, they would have said and. You know what I'm saying? But by them putting or, it can be either one, which meaning they the same. So when you see a Negro outside of a tobacco store with a feather crown, it's not a Asian Indian, but it's a Negro with a feathered headdress and kilt, smoking pipe, chiefing, which our people smoke all day, every day now, bro. All day, every day. So you will see some of the same stuff repeating itself and happening over and over again. All right, now let's go to slave. Cause man, we know who the slaves is, right? Just to be fast, I'm gonna be real fast, y'all. Used in this secondary sense because of the many Slavs sold into slavery by conquering people, right? So we had people that was Slavs being sold into slave, which is what the word slave come from. The word Slav come from the word Slavic. Who are the Slavic people of today? We go to images and boom. These are the first slaves. These are the Slavs. These are the slave nation or whatever. This is what the word came from. Now it's ironic that they came to America and took our name, the Americans, and gave us the name slaves. Seemed like they went and they stole our identity and they gave us theirs. Hence the reason why why you see that the word black means to be pale and to be colorless. But they calling us black. They calling us black, which I don't understand, man. But these are the Slavic people. These are the slaves, according to history, according to etymology. Let me go back. Yeah, according to etymology, these are the slaves. All right. Let's go down. Let's read some more. Cause it's some down here that I want y'all to see. Let's start here. A lot of people is called slaves, right? A lot of white people, the word slaves come from the white slave race. And check this out too. Wealth, which also means slave. In Old English, wealth, it's Britain. Also begins to be used in the sense of serf, slave. So the Britons were slaves. They were slaves. But ain't the British the ones that came over here as slaves to take our land? The people that was on the pyramids was runaways. They was running from Europe and they was coming to America. Why? Because they were slaves. The Britons. Alright, so check this out. Habitat of India, gross dictionary 1785, under Negro, a Blackamoor, figuratively used for a slave without regard to race. So a Blackamoor, hold up, let me underline that first so y'all can see, because people like when stuff get underlined. A Blackamoor was used for slave without regard to race. So what is that telling you? Anybody can be a Blackamoor that was a slave. I can call the whitest man in the world a slave, or I can call him a Blackamoor, and it would be the same thing. So when they go and you see on these statues, these wooden statues that we was just talking about, when you look on these wooden statues and you see BlackaMoor, you know that they was saying anybody that looked like a Moor could have been a BlackaMoor, and anybody that was a slave. And then look at the wording again. A large painted wooden figure of a BlackaMoor or Indian. Or Indian. Why put or and not and? Because these people look the same. You can confuse them both, pretty much. I don't know how much this piece went for, but I need something like this in my house. Check out another one. Another one, man. I like this one too. This one got auctioned off, and the title is An Indian BlackaMoor. Wow. So this time it's putting them both together. Indian BlackaMoor. This thing been sold off. It's from the 1700s. Already been auctioned off. Look at it. I'm gonna blow it up on the screen. But look at this dude, bro. Look at his mouth. You see how he got the red lips? That's what the black face come from. My nigga, they talking about you. They talking about you the whole time. Here comes some more images. They just say a Native American Indian. That's it. But at the same time, she don't look like the Mongols. She don't look like the Mongols. Let's see some more. What else? This one decent. She a little ashy, but she don't she don't like the Mongols neither. Like she probably drink a lot. She probably drink a lot. But that's about it. What's this on her chain? Oh, the symbol of balance. That's that little salt clock. You know what I'm saying? I had the little salt up there, and then it got to drip down to her. I'm trying to tell you, bro. The people of the land is us. This is an Indian countertop. I mean, and this is like the Mongols right here. Most definitely. Mongol crazy. Another image. Look at the clues. Fringes. Feather crown. You already know who they're trying to depict. Look at this dude. This a BlackaMoor too? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like the wordplay. They try to trick us with the wordplay. And we can no longer call ourselves anything that's a part of their political construct. We can't. Or we falling for the okie doke. This thing $95, man. I need to buy it. What else we got? Let me see. A carved, painted, polychrome, decorated cigar, BlackaMoor. Figure. American. So which one is it? You get what I'm saying? If the Moors is from Europe, but this figure is showing a picture of a BlackaMoor American, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Look at it. The feather dress or skirt. This is American. This is not African. It's not nowhere else. This is American. But they selling this stuff majority overseas, I believe. Let me show you this law real quick, bro. This gonna trip you out too. This is from the state of Delaware. So this is a law. If you know anything about laws gotta be like right and exact for the most part. You can't really have no gaps or no wrong spellings or no wrong quotations in law because it can get thrown out. You know, it won't be strong in court. But check this out. So this is about school. This is the school in Indian River 100. Section 1, that title 160, volume 32, Laws of Delaware, and amended by chapter 222, volume 36, Laws of Delaware. Now let's go here, right here. Let's go right here. The State Board of Education may establish schools for children of people called Moors, which schools shall be free to all children between the ages of 6 and 21 years, exclusive. The State of Education shall establish schools for children of the people called Moors or Indian. Called Moors or Indian. Grouping them two together, right? And if any Moor or Indian is in existence or shall be hereafter established, the State Board of Education shall pay the salary of each teacher or teachers thereof. Moor or Indian, bro. This is in law. When I saw this, boy, this tripped me out a little bit. I couldn't believe it.
Right? But when they steal your language and they steal your identity, what happens is you start to revert and you start to use different names, identities for yourself. One of the first names that we reverted to, right, and I'm speaking for those of us in Lenape-Hoking, which is all of New Jersey, the 5 boroughs, Eastern Pennsylvania, and Northern Delaware. All right? So all the people within that territory who lost their tribal identity started to refer to themselves as Moors. Yeah. Because Moor is a general title that references seafaring indigenous nations, right? It doesn't mean Morocco. Somebody from Morocco is not a Moor, he's a Moroccan. Somebody from Mauritania is not a Moor, he's a Mauritanian. If that concept was valid, then if Moor is short for Morocco, then the concept of a Moor would be what we call ourselves, because we come from America, right? So for somebody to start talking like Moor is not a nationality, right? Moor come out of a function, it come out of an action. Mooring is steering. In order to moor a ship, you're guiding a ship.
Our people fighting each other so much when we got people breaking into the Capitol. Got a civil war going on in America, you know what I'm saying? And people coming to own us. They fighting each other to own us. But yeah, we fighting over who's a Moor, who's an Indian, or who's a Hebrew. I'm done with the titles, bro. I'm done with them. I want to show y'all these images of the Rekinde Moors. Hold on, let me show you. And these flyers. Okay, check this out. Did Maureen, but we remember what the definition said, right? Let's go back to the definition just so we can be clear. But wooden images of feathered Indians or Negroes, okay, Blackmoors or other dark-skinned foreigners have always possessed considerable attraction, right? Negroes with feathered headdresses and kilts smoking pipes are to be seen outside tobacco shops on the continent. So this is going on overseas. Now, a lot of these flyers that I'm about to show y'all is from overseas. So this is exactly what they advertised when they went over there. Let me pull it back up. Check this out. Boom. Feather crown, feather skirt, look Negro to me. What else we got? The Rekinde Moor. Feather crown, blowing, skirt. Okay. Same thing. Feather crown. Check this out. Another statue of American Indian. Another feather crown, curly hair statue of American Indian. And you can see his pearls. It was faded a little bit, but this, you know, we decked out, jeweled up. Bro, I seen a post of I think it was a Aztec, right? It was an Aztec. He had a real big chain on, a big medallion, and the face of the medallion was his own face and shit. So they went and they grabbed a picture of like Rick Ross or one of these rappers, and you see us doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You see us with the same big dumb chain, man. You know what I'm saying? Gold in your mouth, dreads. It don't change. This dude right here, this is the best of Virginia. He got the feather crown on. He can tell he a chief. They giving him some more trees. Like, here you go, chief. Keep blowing. Another image of an American Indian or a BlackaMoor or whatever social political terms that you like to use because you still don't know who you are. I love this picture. Got the red lips, the black face, you know what I'm saying? The feather crown. You know it's an American Indian. You know it's an Aboriginal. You know it's us. Check this out. It's a French allegorical illustration of Treaties of Paris. Look at the American. This is the American, man. Wow. So everybody know but us. Signed in Paris by Representative King George III of Great Britain. Wow. Peruvian lady. Let me see, Peruvian lady. Oh, check out the feather crown from Peru. And this was published in 1760. I got some more work, man. I got more heat for y'all. Can't nobody tell you that the American Indians and the Moors don't look alike. Because here come a Yamasee with a turban with a feather coming out. And here comes a Moor from Europe with a turban and a feather coming out. They probably came over here and was like, man, we just came from under slavery from you niggas. We gotta go and fight y'all again? You know why they hate us so much, man. We ain't did nothing to y'all. Y'all gotta holler at the Moors in Europe. Look at this. This looks like it's been dark. Hold up. I get another one. Look at it. If not us, then who? Doing another build on Queen Khalifa, bro. Our women is so important in everything that we doing. We need to take the time out to either thank them and uplift them. Because the women is what called the shots, bro. They was the chiefs. According to the law of peace, you ain't nothing without your mama because you spend the most time with her. You ever heard the saying, mama, baby, daddy, maybe? Because we know for a fact that that's your mama. We know for a fact that the same blood that she got in her vein is in your veins because you spend 9 months inside your mother. So what other blood do you think you pulling from? You ain't just getting no mysterious, you know what I'm saying? You ain't get no mysterious blood inside your mama when she the one that's feeding you and all her nutrients is going from out of her to you. So the woman, as you see right here, is the empress. She is the one that's calling the shots. And check out her slaves. Look at these two dudes holding up the boat. These white slaves, man. Trying to tell you, look at this man, bro. Decked out, royalty. Eye colors. This is another build I want to do too, because the more research that I do, I'm starting to figure out that King Tut tomb was found in America. And oh, come on, man, we just seen this image. I guess they tried to put color on it, but yeah, we just seen that image. Check out this. Four corners. Four corners of the globe. Africa, okay. Asia, okay. Europe, and America. Cause anybody tell me why America and Africa is black as? Can anybody tell me? Portrait of Inca nobles, the oldest known painting in South America, painted in the year 1599. And these is the Incan nobles, my dude. I believe this is in the museum as well. Highlight this and go look it up. These ain't Mongols. They not. And look at the woman again, being depicted as being the leader. She's on top of, like, she's like being carried on a alligator. Look at this sellout. You know what I'm saying? Another emblem. We seen this one earlier, right? So this is a depiction of America. This is a depiction of Africa. You see how they confuse the two and how the two look alike? I don't know if y'all probably ain't worthy or swarthy, or y'all probably don't dabble in the Bible the way that I do, but if you go in the Bible, bro, and it tells you that Ham is the African race and they consist of the dark-skinned race, but not the Negroes. The Negroes is not African, but the Negroes and the Africans look alike. Look at this, the Negro and the African. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, you can't let them play word semantics on you, because if you allow them, then they have complete control over you, bro. We shouldn't even be arguing over America and Africa. We need to be arguing on who's indigenous and who's not, whose land it is and who's not. Because if you take the word America and you put an F where the M is, what do you have? Africa. Stop playing with me, man. Indigenous people, stand up, man. Stop fighting each other. Feather crown, feather dresses. It don't change. Now check these out. I like this picture because somebody pointed this out to me. It's a book cover, right? So in this picture, you got the conquistadors, right? Now you have both of these people are Native Americans. How do we know? Because in the book cover, you can see these people have on feather dresses, just like them. Except these people are more Negroid looking Indians, and these people are more Mongol looking Indians. And it's looking like they're selling them out. They like, you come get these nigga looking Indians, just don't touch us. You know what I'm saying? I could be tripping, bro, but that's what I see. That's what I see, man. I could be tripping. Yeah, we saw this one too. Saw that one. Shout outs to Mound Bender. Shout out to Aboriginal Carolina. It's a lot, man. I'm mad. I don't remember all y'all names, but shout out to everybody, man. I seen somebody the other day getting into it over, hey, this is my poster, or I posted this picture and you ain't shout me out. Bro, if I don't shout you out, forgive me. For real, because I'm just trying to get to the information. Montezuma, Cortez, you know what I'm saying? But look at these buildings, bro. We didn't come to Spain. They came to us, and our buildings look way better than what they've been showing us. Because they've been showing us TP Indians, and we ain't TP Indians. We about to get into that too. Another allegory picture of America. That's not us. We'll be all day, man. Africa and America, both of them submitting to these white popes, man. And that's what they did to us, bro. They came over here and they made us Christians, bro. They made us follow their religion. America, Africa, Europe, Asia. Same thing. A lot of these pictures is coming from that book I was showing y'all earlier. Is this it? Yeah, a lot of them is coming from this book. So if you want to check this book out, I can drop it. You can check this out as well. Let's go back to where I was at. One more. American Indian War. Oh, this was the Yamasees. And you can go and look this image up. This dude got on a whole turban with a feather out, and this like one of them little fez joints that the Moors be wearing. The Moorish people be wearing, shall I say. You know what I'm saying? Indian chief making a speech to King George I. Look at his pearls, G. Feather crown. They offering him some feathers. Wow. A dark-skinned figure of America. Again. everywhere. Detail from the first chapter page of do for usage. I can't read that. Here come the source, man. But here come another image of an American, man. Sideways. I can't read it still. But yeah, another image of an American. Fro and feathers. Fro and feathers. Come on, man. These the Mongols. That's what I'm saying. That's what get me so fired up, because these the Mongols. Look, the American at the end. Trade with Asia and America. These are the Asians, these are Americans. Why they look like us? Why they don't show us this? I like this too. So these are statues, which I told you from that book. These are statues that's all over the world. And if you see them, I'm gonna put it on the screen. They all look like us. I ain't gonna show you nowhere else. Another one look like us. Feather crown, feather skirt, ready to go. Sun over here being bad. Being bad. Alright, so hopefully by the end of this video that you was able to tell the difference between a Native American, Aboriginal, and a Moor. We people of America are Aboriginals. We didn't call ourselves by no titles that's given to us today. None. So we can't be Indians. We surely can't be Native American. You know what I'm saying? So when they came over here to America, they seen a lot of stuff that they was seeing in Europe from their Moors over here with the indigenous people in America, and they was pretty much calling them Moors. And I got a couple primary sources that I'm gonna go over. A couple of these sources is from the Jesuit letters and from certain books and journals that's coming directly from the people that came from Europe and pretty much said how the people in America look. And I got some of this from this book called The Lost Aboriginal Heritage. It's by Ali Muhammad. He pretty solid, man. You know, he still, you know, believe in the Africans coming to America, but I'm past that. At some point, you got to eat the meat and spit out the bones, right? He got a lot of good information in his book. I'm never knocking anything that he putting out in his book, though. But check this out. He got the quote from William Penn in his book, right? And I'm gonna pretty much read the quote from William Penn. And once you start hearing what these people are saying that the indigenous people look like, you're gonna be like, so how do we go from this to that? How do we go from looking like that to this? You know what I'm saying? So check this out. William Penn, right? He wrote, quote, "For the persons, they are generally tall, straight, well built, and of singular proportions. They tread strong and clever, and mostly walk with a loafly chin. Of complexion black, but by design, as the gypsies in England. They grease themselves with bare fat, clarified, and using no defense against sun or weather. Their skins must be swarthy." Alright, so pretty much he's saying that they look like the gypsies in England. And not only that, they don't need to protect themselves from the sun. And we already know the sun is killing a lot of other people that's not original. If you look at some of these other places, they got high counts of skin cancer, and the skin cancer is coming from being exposed to the sun. So these Indians that they seen in America was able to deal with the sun. Not only that, they was black as gypsies. And we gonna go to etymology, because you know, if anytime you want to find something out or you want to find a root word or something, go to etymology and put the word into the engine and see what happens, right? So we got the word gypsy. So 1600 alteration of Gyptian. Sound like something, right? A worn down Middle English dialectal from Egyptians. So did anybody even know that the gypsies was Egyptians? I almost can't even say it. Did you even know that the gypsies is the Egyptians? They the same people. And when you go down to the second meaning of gypsies, because it's still not describing, because William Penn said that the Indians was dark like gypsies or Egyptians, right? So we go down to gypsies, the second noun for it. It's a member of a people with dark skin and hair who traditionally live by seasonal work and fortune telling. So these fortune tellers that you've been seeing, man, that we've been saying is gypsies, is really Egyptians. And they call them gypsies for short. The Egyptian people and the gypsies are dark-skinned people. Now, this is in the etymology, right? But now, if we go by America's social-political construct, everybody that's in North Africa, the Middle East, and Europe, and Russia, and Asia are categorized as white. But here, it's telling us that the Egyptians is dark-skinned people. You know what I'm saying? And they live on pretty much all continents, mostly in Europe, North America, and North Africa. But when the Egyptians come from North Africa to America, on their state ID or on their identification card, they're classified as white. Do y'all not see the connection? Do you not see them trying to pull a fast move on us? Let's go to another one. Let's go to the one about the Jesuit letters, man. Because the Jesuits pretty much who is the Christians that came over here trying to get people to be Christians, they seen how we look as well and they recorded it. The Jesuit letters is not hard to find. It's a primary source, meaning that it came from the horse's mouth. It ain't what he said and she said and she said. We going right to the root of it, right? So let me pull this up real quick. Alright, so check it out. It's some of them were garlands of bird feathers. They are dark in color, not unlike the Egyptians, with thick black hair and not very long, tied back behind the head like a small tail. So hold up. So they saying that these people that they seen in the Americas was dark with short, thick black hair, and it was tied behind their head in a ponytail, like a little tail, like a small tail in the back. Where's we getting these long hair, you know what I'm saying? Where's we getting these long hair Asian or Mongol Indians from? Where did they come from? When did the people that came to America see them? Because we looking through this right now and we don't see nobody. We don't see them talking about them. And we know how the Egyptians look, right? We know how they look. Let's go to another one. All right, so this one is pretty much what is this one from? This is from DeSoto. So when DeSoto came to Florida or whatever, and he seen Tuscalooka, and I hope I said his name right. I hope I ain't butchered his name. Tuscalooka. When he came and he seen him, man, he was surprised when he seen him because this dude was like a giant. He was being hit. They had a big fan on. You ever seen Coming to America when they drop the rose petals and they be fanning the king and stuff? That's what was being done to this chief when he came to America, and he couldn't believe it because he was tall, he was big, and he had Moorish like apparel on. All right. So check this out. We're gonna start from the top. In related what happened to the commander Hernando de Soto in his interview with the chief of Tuscalooka, who was such a tall man that he seemed a giant. Sunday, October 10, 1540, the governor entered the village of Tuscalooka, which is called, I ain't gonna butcher that. I ain't even gonna try to. A recent village, and the chief was on a kind of balcony on a mound at one side of the square, his head covered by all kinds of cloth like an animal, so that his headdress was like a Moor's, which gave him in aspect of authority. You see what they saying right there? They said his headdress was that of a Moor's, and it gave him that much of authority. He also wore a pilot or a mantle of feathers down his feet, which I told you was the grass skirt, right? He was seated on some high cushions, and many of the principal men among him, his Indians, were with him. And he was as tall as that Antonico of the emperor, our Lord God, and well proportioned, a fine and comely figure of a man. They going in about how good he looked, pretty much. He had a son, a young man as tall as himself, but more slender. Before the chief there stood always an Indian of graceful men, holding a parasol on a handle, something like a round and very large fly fan. So bro, he was pretty much he was being treated like a king. But at the same time, they went and they said that this dude had Moorish hairdressing. And we already know that the Moors and the people of America wore similar things, similar hairdressing, right? When it comes to these categories, man, we gotta let it go. We can't sit here and hold on to these names that we didn't even call each other. I'm not finna argue with somebody that think they are Moor if Moors was over here, because that's not a smart argument. A smart argument is how we gonna take this shit back. How we gonna get our land back, bro? I ain't trying to fight with you, but how we gonna put our differences to the side to be able to get our land back?
Right? Moor, who was the person when Columbus sailed here? Who guided his ship? Pedro the Moor. Moor is a function, just like Taylor is a function, just like Smith is a function. But the Europeans, when they encountered the original Moors, right, they were all melanated people. So through association, Moor became dark. But it's not what it means. Connotatively, it means navigator. That's what it means. But you're going to deal with people who are going to tell you Moor means this and Moor means that. And I'm telling you, they are not educated on the concept. Now, I will break it down for you. There's a tribe called the Nanticoke Lenape Moors in southern Jersey, right? For a long period of time, after they passed laws which denied us the right to carry out our culture, and our culture was simply farming and hunting. All this other stuff y'all want to talk about, it's just the show. It's regalia, right? Our culture was hunting and farming. When they outlawed that because they wanted to control our food sources, when they outlawed marijuana and hemp because it provided over 1,000 remedies in terms of foods, medicines, things of that nature. When they outlawed all that, we were forced to start dealing with them on their terms, right? Now, when they removed a lot of us to Oklahoma, the Indians that were removed then were the amalgamated Indians who were a product mainly of the Irish migration and us mixing with the Irish. So a lot of these people, that's why these Indians look the way they look. That's why they look amalgamated. They got the long stringy hair. Because a lot of the ancient European tribes were doing trade with us. Because like I said, the term Moor is not complexion. It eventually meant that, but it meant seafaring nations. So seafaring nations would be any nation who is not landlocked and is on waters, right? So certain nations wouldn't be considered Moors because they landlocked. Their whole culture is not predicated on seafaring, right? So you would include people like Vikings and people like that as Moors, right? This is why they tell you free white people in the definition. They include all different types of people because they're dealing with nations who navigated, who are part of ancient treaties. And I can name the 6 ancient treaties, but we could, we'll do that another time. But there were 6 ancient treaties that united all the tribal families on the planet. All these planets did trade in places like the Isle of Man, which is a small island off of Europe. You know what I mean? Or for England, pardon me. So we're dealing with ancient indigenous cultures that migrated via navigation of boats and ships. Now, we didn't need giant boats because if you're familiar with the Filipino islands, you know you can island hop in canoes. You can get from Africa to the furthest island in the Filipinos because they're so close, you can island hop. Well, you can island hop from Europe to the Americas via Greenland and the islands that are in between that the map don't show. All right? So when they talk about the Bering Strait, those were the Asiatics that came over here at another time. The reason why terms like Tawny Moor were introduced is because the European associated all Moors with being dark because the original people that he met navigating were dark. So the same way we associate hockey players with being white is the same way they associated Moors with being black, right? But as we taught the amalgamated Moors and people like that how to navigate, now you have something called Tawny Moor to differentiate because that means light-skinned navigator. See what I'm saying? Because they had to differentiate because now this knowledge was being taught to different nations, right? So you got a lot of people talking about we're not Moors, we're not this. Moor is not a nationality. It's a general title for indigenous people who come from navigating nations, all right? Now,
it's a general title just like black.
Just like black. Because when you say black, you don't know what nation you're talking about, right? Somebody asked me my nationality, I'm Lenni Lenape. That means the real people. We got a language, we got a river, we got everything. I take you to my burial grounds, everywhere. You standing in my territory right now, right? If we went to Africa right now, everybody would bow down and kiss the ground and respect every deity in Kemet, in Africa, wherever you may be. But our people run around here and don't respect any of the indigenous histories, deities, or nothing, and they wonder why we're in such a bad position.
Saying what you said about the Moors and that not being a nationality, how do you feel about Noble Drew Ali and what he brought to this country?
Noble Drew Ali did what he was supposed to do. He woke people up. Because see, when you study Noble Drew Ali, he'll tell you he was part Cherokee. So him establishing his jurisdiction through his Cherokee roots is all you have to do. Another thing people don't realize, where did Noble Drew Ali establish the first Moorish science temple? Nah. First Moorish Science Temple was located in Newark, New Jersey. Right? My tribal headquarters was in East Orange. Anybody that's familiar with Newark and East Orange know it's the same place. So you think that Noble Drew Ali was establishing a headquarters for a nation down the street from a tribal headquarters and didn't have some interaction with those people? You understand? It's protocol and things of this nature. So Noble Drew Ali do what he was supposed to do because, like I said before, when people fall out of their identities, they take on a general term, just like we call ourselves black. So when people fell out of their nationalities because they was being outlawed and you couldn't be that or else your family would be separated, you understand? If you had a light-skinned child and a brown-skinned child, they would separate the children, right? So to avoid all that, you say, well, I'm not Cherokee, I'm not Choctaw, I'm not Lenape, I'm Negro. Because now you can stay in your territory, you can stay where you own land, where you owned your farms, but you are no longer a threat because the Indians, right, so-called Indians, had jurisdiction. Did you know 100 years ago, if you were sick, you can go find an Indian, go to a doctor, and the doctor got to treat you free of charge if the Indian bring you in there? Yeah. Because he's indigenous to the land, and these people are foreign occupiers, right? So when you have a large group of indigenous people that can't be taxed, that's another thing. Indian mean fuck all that other shit. Indian means you can't get taxed by the European. So if you niggas want to run around here and be something you not, fine. Indian means you can't be taxed. That's why they had to take you out of that status, so they could tax you. Because they got 1,000 people coming into their stores, and they can't tax none of them. They can't make money, right? So they got to remove you from who you are so they can raise them prices on you. It's all economics.